Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer the elemental relationship reading for the elemental energy of fire. Fire covers the zodiac signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So if you are Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or have fire high up in your chart, then this one is for you. The way I like to do these type of readings is we look at the chakra energy that lights up and kind of get a feel for that. And then we look at the tarot to get a little more clarification. And then we also, what I like to do is read for the singles first. So if you are currently outside of a relationship, and then we look at those who are in a relationship. So with that, we will get started here. It's been shuffling this deck. All the decks I use are linked in the description down below, and there's also a link to a natal chart if you're interested. And fire singles, you are starting off with a very interesting card here. So we're going to read through the book because there's a lot of good information that they bring forward, but you are tapped into the root chakra here. And when we look at this, we're also understanding that, is there something that you're afraid of, fire? And that doesn't mean it has to be, oh, I'm terrified of fill in the blank. It could be the fear of getting hurt. It could be the fear of a commitment, the fear of, and this sounds weird, but in relationships, especially in today's world, there's this concept of the fear of missing out. Well, if I get tied down, then I might miss the next best thing. Okay, or you could just miss the thing that you have in front of you, which is the best thing. So what kind of fear are we dealing with here? And that's what I'm hearing for our fire singles, is what kind of fear are you dealing with? So we're looking at the root chakra here, and this particular beautiful lady, she is Kali, the divine feminine creator and destroyer. She is one of the many incarnations of the divine feminine energy. She is associated with the biggest fear, which is death. With her tongue sticking out and her hair in wild disarray, she can look angry and appear strangely demonic. Okay, it's not just an appearance, she actually can act that way too. At other times, though, she can also appear beautiful and shower her devotees with gifts of compassion. The sword she uses to sever the ego and destroy the demons can inspire fear, protect against it, or dissolve it. Her mala, which is this necklace here, is of human skulls, and it shows her disinterest in outside beauty and her disdain for pride. Kali has a lot of interesting aspects, but when you look at the aspect and how I've come to understand it, which is Kali Ma, that's when you start seeing that benevolent mother figure. Now, do not think for 1 second that she cannot flip that switch and go crazy on you. She's here to guide you and train you, fire singles. It's not about overcoming this minor thing. She shows up when it's time to make some big changes. It's time to rattle the cage a little bit. So your key words here is lack of awareness, insecurity, stress, getting caught in others' demands or others' expectations, shadows of deception. So, fire singles. This is really, Kali comes forward when when stuff's going to be called out. She's not here to be a pacifist. That's not her thing. Even when she is in her motherly form, we're talking like big old mama bear. We are not playing with this energy of, oh, she might be a gentle god. No, Kali's not that way. Sorry, she's one that I've actually worked with, and she's not gentle. Now, is she caring? Yes. And fire, what I'm getting with this one before we look at the tarot is, what are you afraid of? Literally, are you afraid of the relationship? Are you afraid of... Well, that's interesting. Are you afraid of being outed by your family? Are you afraid of revealing the type of person you like? Now, this is how I look at it. What happens between two consenting adults is between two consenting adults. And it really doesn't matter what someone else thinks. And that could be a fear that you're still working with. Is like, well, what if that person finds out that I like the same gender or same sex as me? Well, what if that family member, you know, the one that's kind of the jackwagon, finds out I'm dating an Asian or something along those lines? is it whose life are we leading here? Is it yours or theirs? Because if they're going to be the problem, you just don't have to talk to them. I mean, and I'm not saying that to be rude and to cut people out of your lives, but a lot of the prejudices of the past were due to ignorance, lack of knowledge. Fire singles, you don't have that problem. So don't take something that could be a huge issue and make it bigger, or you can just be like, you know what, you play over there with your blocks, I'm living my life over here, and if you can behave yourself, then we will discuss this. And again, it's not about throwing it in someone's face. You're attracted to who you're attracted to. That's just how that works. You don't have to be, bombastic about it. And that's where she's coming in saying, enough with the ego. You put that thing down. You don't need to play with it. Put the ego away. And that's also that aspect of slaying your fears. It's putting an end to this conflict that you've been dealing with. So, fire, singles. We're going to get into your tarot here. But your chakra is the root. This is foundational for you. This is not about, something in the near future or some esoteric, airy-fairy. This is brass tacks. This is your life. This is how you exist in the world today. Are you really going to let somebody else's opinion dictate that? Again, what happens between two consenting adults is between two consenting adults. Fire singles, you can be happy where you're at by yourself. That's great. But if you're longing for a relationship, but you're scared of what, Aunt Fanny is going to say, you don't have to tell her until you're like, they've met the person. And this is the funny part. They get to know him as like a roommate or a friend. And all of a sudden you're in a relationship. They're like, wait, error. And then they have to rethink how they feel. Then it's not on you. And you didn't do anything. You just showed up with your friend. So the first tarot is the Queen of Water. Tender-hearted, empathic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. Water singles, this is what they're talking about. You've got this beautiful energy, this very angelic energy standing in the middle. And you can say that this is Gabriel, because she's one that's good for this. Or you could say Kamael, she's another good one for this energy. But what you're getting here is tone down the fire fear, because the fire can get really passionate and really do a lot of chaos. Water is here to remind you sometimes the quiet aspect, the quiet path is the best option. You don't have to be out there preaching to everybody and beating the drum. Sometimes it's just the simple fact of existing. And the Queen of Water wants you to understand how to tap into that empathic, that intuitive side of who you are. And that's going to allow you to know the right time, place, and how to go about things. Fire singles, I'm really getting this energy right now that you are in a crossroads. Are you willing to take the steps to live your own life? Or are you going to continue to let someone else dictate your needs? And I don't care if you're 19 or if you're 50. If you're letting someone else dictate your personal relationship needs, maybe it's time to take that person out of the equation for a minute and just see how your life would be if they were quiet. Because sometimes you need that. Your second tarot card is the 8 in the Major Arcana, so this is big life lessons, big energy coming in here. We have Justice with Archangel Ragael, fair and just decisions, do what you know is right, and standing up for your beliefs. Kind of sounds like Kali stepping up here too. So you even have the angels coming in to say, do the right thing. It doesn't matter what someone else says. When you do the right thing for the right reason, the world can turn against you, but as long as you're holding true to your integrity, there's not much that's going to actually be able to destroy you as a person or as a soul. Now, if you want to go willy-nilly, that's a little different story. But fire singles, you guys in particular, fire in particular, is really good about standing up and being loud and being boisterous. I mean, if we look at Leos, they make some of the best leaders. Why? Because they're not afraid of conflict, and they're not afraid of getting their hands dirty. But you also have that balancing energy that's coming up here with the Queen of Water and the Divine Feminine. I mean, you've got a lot of feminine-styled energy here. So this is really a call to find the gentility in your life, fire singles. Find this middle path. Find the path that you walk where, yeah, Aunt Fanny can be over there throwing her temper tantrum about, fill in the blank issue, and you're over here with your friend, and she's just okay with your friend, and it stays like that. because there's a way to neutralize these more negative people in our lives, and it's not beating them over the head with a bunch of other nonsense. It's showing them that they might not be truly accurate about everybody. Sometimes that's all it takes. So let's hop over to our fire couples, and this can be for you as the person watching, or it could be your partner that's the fire, or it could be a combination. Before we go too much further, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment, let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions. Also, share this video with someone else. If you know a fire person who's maybe needs a little pop upside the head, or maybe just, hey, check this out, it might be kind of funny, let them know. I'm all about, sharing as much as we can. Also, if you see something different with the cards, feel free to comment down below, let me know what you're seeing. I read intuitively, so it's always interesting to see what other people's intuition brings forward. So with that, fire couples. Aw, you got the awesome card, which is really, I'm gonna say this is your heart chakra, but we'll check here in a second. You have the energy of love coming in, number 26. Fire couples, this month of August is going to be about you guys reconnecting. If you've been busy this summer, life getting in the way, and kids, and doing the soccer thing, doing the football thing, doing the hockey thing, or the archery thing, whatever it is you got going on, this is the time to remember why you're doing all that running around. Reconnect with your partner. Maybe just do a couples camping trip. Maybe drop the kids off at grandma's house for the weekend. You guys as a couple deserve to remember why. That's a sacred bond that the two of you are sharing. And that's the energy that's coming up for our fire couples. Fire singles, it's time to basically make some changes. But fire couples, it's about reconnecting. It's rekindling that fire, that passion. Even if it's something as sitting at home in your PJs watching a movie that you both have been wanting to watch for weeks on end, but because of everything going on, you haven't had the chance, do that now. Order a pizza, make some dinner, do something, just chill in each other's company. Remember why you guys fell in love in the first place. So, on our card here, we are in the heart chakra, so this is your balance energy, and the deities, both of these are deities, are Radha and Krishna. Radha, a humble milkmaid, is widely worshipped in India as an incarnation of the Divine Mother. Because of her faithful love for Krishna, who is the divine embodiment of pure joy, she is an inspiration for bhakti, or devoted worship. She met Krishna, who loved to tend cows and play the flute, and they became nearly inseparable companions. Radha and Krishna's deep devotion to each other and their greater concern for the other's well-being more than their own is a model for the purest form of love. Anyone who's ever told you that marriage or relationships is 50-50 is blatantly lying. It's 100% and 100%. If you're not giving to the other person and they're not giving back in a full measure, not a little bit, full measure, your relationship might need to take a little deeper dive, figure out what's going on below the surface. And that doesn't mean, well, if they paid, I have to pay. No. Energy is not the physical. And that's the part that they're wanting to bring forward here. These two are not dealing in money. They're dealing in energy. Krishna's powers, his abilities, and as the divine masculine are complementing Radha's by the divine feminine. She is in her full power. He is in his full power. And those two powers complement each other. They're not stepping on each other's toes. They are so happy to be able to do for the other in their particular skills and gifts that it doesn't matter anymore to them what other people think. Your key words here are loyalty, love, surrender, faith, fulfilling adventurous dreams. I love that. Romance, purity, joy, devotion, excitement, letting the inner child come out to play, and decreasing self-centered words and actions. Something that I feel like in a lot of ways, especially in mainstream pop culture lately, is the concept that love is sacred. The connection between two people, that relationship fire that you're building and that you work with each other, that is a sacred thing. Whether you go to church or not, that's kind of irrelevant in this situation. It is a spiritual bond that you have built. Radha and Krishna are examples of that. Yes, they sitting out in the field, he's playing his flute to the cows. The cows are like dude, what are you doing? But she is weaving. She is preparing food. She's doing the things that a woman does when she's devoted to her husband. And what he is doing is protecting and providing. They are complementing energies. There's no conflict between these two. When you look at this card, is there harshness there? Is there conflict? Answer honestly. You're not to me, to yourself. There's no conflict because they are giving of themselves to the other person, therefore finding balance between the two. There's not much that's going to be able to get in the way of that. And that's what they're wanting to bring forward is, Fire, you guys have an amazing relationship. It's really time to emphasize that for you. The kids, the house, the jobs, all those things are important, but don't forget the why. The why is the relationship. So your first tarot is the Ace of Water, falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship. Resurgence, yay! Spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, a new home. When it doesn't matter if you move or not, when you reconnect at that deep level, everything's new. Everything becomes more clear. The mundane becomes magical. And that's what this energy is coming forward for the fire couples in August is remember the magic. Remember that loving connection and bond. This will sustain you. Literally forever, to be honest with you. Your second card is the Eight of Air, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. Don't be afraid to open up to your partner, men or women. I know both sides do this, so there's not a matter of, well, women do it more than men. No, they don't. They both do it. and literally in equal measure. They always hold a piece of themselves back because they don't want to get hurt, and I get that. But are you ready to take the next step into the relationship? The Ace of Water is saying you're ready for something different, something bigger, something deeper. The Eight of Air is saying, why are you afraid of it? There's this energy, this fear energy that's coming up here is not what will someone else think. I mean, it is to a point, but it's also a little bit of a selfish ego thing where it's like, well, if I don't let them have this part of me and I keep it over here, then they can't hurt it. But then that also means you're not actually in the relationship. They gave 100% to each other. And that's how their relationship bonds and grows. That also means there's a lot of truth there. You cannot lie in this relationship. And when you're in the heart energy, when you're really tapped into that flow, the concept of dishonesty is so foreign and repulsive, you can't imagine doing it. And Fire, this is where you guys are at, is you're so inflamed with each other, or it's building towards this again, that you don't want to be deceptive. I mean, there's those little deceits where you're like, oh, I don't know what's in the closet, it's birthday present, things like that. Those are fine, but big deceptions, like be open with each other, be honest, be supportive. And this is the energy that's coming up here. The fear of, oh, well, I don't want to, overdo. If you're giving 100% and they're giving 100%, there's no overdoing. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of explosion that can happen, the good kind. But it doesn't mean things are going to be bad. So the Ace of Water is calling you to this new aspect of your existence, this deeper level and deeper understanding with each other. The Eight of Air is saying, what's holding you back and why are you stopping? Because there's a lot of movement with Eight of Air. There's a lot of options here. But there's also just a pinch bit of a warning. What are you hiding from? Why are you hiding? If you truly are in that relationship, and I'm not questioning people's relationships, that's not my position. If you're in the relationship to be in the relationship, then be in the relationship. That means being vulnerable. Both sides of that equation. Because it can be a little rough, but the payout at the end is worth it. And that's where you have to be open and communicative, be honest with each other, and be truthful. So, air couples, you look amazing. This loving energy that's coming in, I'm kind of jealous, because this is your deepening connection, giving fully of yourself to the other and receiving in kind. This is powerful, powerful energy for you guys. So embrace that. Love everything you can. Water singles. It's time to spice things up. It's time to shake your snow globe a little bit. things need to be changing, and it's time to confront your fears. So, fire singles. There's a lot of water energy tied into this. Confront your fears. It's not going to be easy, but when you do, the success on the other side is going to be amazing. Fire couples, remember their why. Why are you doing all this stuff? It's because of your partnership. It's because of the relationship. Connect and take that to the deepest way you can, because in reality, that's the most valuable thing you own. Doesn't matter what else there is. The relationship's the most valuable. So, with that, I will let you guys go. Have a great rest of your month. I really, from this reading, you guys have got a lot going on. It's going to look amazing for fire. Let me know in the comments down below. I will see you in the next video.